Hello world, my name is Beauchesne. I'm the founder of Jesus Across the Border. I wanted to take a moment to bring to you a message of hope. Jesus Across the Border is a Catholic young adult organization. We specialize in uniting Catholic young adult groups throughout the country. We provide a platform for those groups to introduce themselves and spread their mission. It's also a platform for Catholic young adults who may not know any Catholic young adult groups to go and to find some groups. So during this time of desolation and devastation, I wanted to bring a message to you to remember to continue to thank God. That can be very difficult during this time, but to thank God for the many opportunities that have been presenting themselves to us throughout the past few weeks. As we enter into Holy Week, as we travel with Jesus along the Passion, each day let us remember that without pain and devastation, there's no crucifixion. Without a crucifixion, there's no resurrection. So some of the things to be hopeful for and to thank God for would be this opportunity to take a step away from the world and to spend time with your family. Many of us have had an opportunity over the past few weeks to, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text message, an email, or whether it's a face-to-face interaction virtually or in person with a family member. We've had an opportunity or opportunities to spend more time with family. Mothers and fathers are having a chance to spend time with their children. Children are finally feeling completely valued spending this time with their parents. It's been so beautiful to see even family members within my own family spend that time with their children that they've never had the opportunity to do before. And hopefully what will come from this is a bigger desiring for mothers and fathers to spend more time with their children. The other aspect of this is an opportunity to be humbled. Many of us are being put in a position where the only thing that we can rely on is God. We no longer have our jobs. Many of us are going right through our savings. As time continues to go on, it becomes a more and more scary situation. And it humbles ourselves because we can no longer rely on ourselves. So thank God for this opportunity to begin to put the world back in perspective. Having everything stripped away is a very difficult and challenging thing to do, and it leaves you with nothing. And nothing can be a very scary thing, especially when that nothing is yourself. So thank God for the opportunity to spend this time with yourself and with God to really begin to dig into who you really are. I know that over the past few weeks, it has been very difficult to be separated from friends and family. I found myself quite often lonely, very desolate, and seeking and searching for so long to find ways to fill my time. And eventually that's a sickening feeling, whether it's Facebook, social media, different sports sites, no matter what it is. There comes a time when you become exhausted with that all and you're left with yourself. It's very difficult because then you begin to find out who you really are, your flaws, your things that you struggle with in your life, the temptations, everything that Jesus is faced with in the desert. We are having an opportunity to journey along with him during this Lent, what will be an extended Lent, to the Passion and the Crucifixion. We are called to know ourselves. We're called to know our relationship with God. This is really highlighting what our relationship with God looks like. I know for myself, I've struggled a lot for years with my faith and my relationship with Jesus, and even now, this is really highlighting that. So there may not be answers right now, but the first way to begin to solve a problem is to find out what that problem is. So let's thank God for this opportunity of stripping everything away from us and leaving us desolate in the desert. He invites us to be on the journey with him as he travels to his own crucifixion when he gave his life for us. Now, there's something that I really do struggle with. It's the question of evil. Why does evil exist? Now, For this, I'm going to turn to the Catechism. I'm going to read something very quickly out of the Catechism. A very, very close friend of mine, Father Dan, for years, since the beginning of my newfound journey, has told me to read the Catechism. And every time he tells me, I say, oh yeah, Father Dan, I'll definitely do it. I'll do it. And I never did. And I kept putting it off until the beginning of this Lent. And I decided there's no better time to start reading it than now. As I opened it up, there was as I was reading through, I got to a section, and the section's titled, Why Does Evil Exist? So there is a quote that I would like to read before that. It is a prayer from St. Teresa of Jesus. It says, speaking of trusting in God, it says, it means trusting God in every circumstance, even in adversity. A prayer of St. Teresa of Jesus wonderfully expresses this trust. And this is the prayer. Let nothing trouble you. Let nothing frighten you. Everything passes. God never changes. Patience obtains all. Whoever has God wants for nothing. God alone is enough. With having everything worldly stripped away from us, we begin to realize that we don't need these things to make us happy in life. It's allowing us to hit the reset button. It's allowing us to journey deeper into our relationship with Christ, and essentially deeper into our relationships with each other. My greatest friends, the people I respect the most, are the people that are true, the people that speak the truth, that say the things I don't want to hear. It's not an easy thing, but as years go on, as I found myself deeper and deeper and deeper into trying to find happiness in all the wrong places, I realized that all the people that tell me what I want to hear were really leading me down that path of away from who I wanted to be. And so it took God stripping everything away before and in this moment to make me realize that He is the only thing that we need. And there's no job, there's no amount of money, there's no sport, there's no relationship that can replace that. And all those things are good. Every one of those things are good, but when they're prioritized correctly. Now, in terms of evil, I just want to read this very quickly because it explains where we are in this state of the world. So there's two different types of evil. There's physical evil and there's moral evil. And this says, but why did God not create a world so perfect that no evil could exist? And right now I'm talking about the coronavirus. Why is this happening? It doesn't make sense. With infinite power, God could always create something better. But with infinite wisdom and goodness, God freely willed to create a world in a state of journeying towards its ultimate perfection. In God's plan, this process of becoming involves the appearance of certain beings and the disappearance of others. The existence of the more perfect alongside with the less perfect. Both constructive and destructive forces of nature. With physical good, there also exists physical evil. As long as creation has not reached perfection, we are created in a state of journeying. We are not at that perfection. That ultimate perfection someday will be heaven. And one more line, it speaks to moral evil. It says, angels and men, as intelligent and free creatures, have to journey towards their ultimate destinies by their free choice and their preferential love. Therefore, that gives us the opportunity to choose good or evil. Love has to be free, or it's not love, it's forced. So in terms of moral evil, if we don't have the opportunity to choose between good and evil, then it does not become a choice anymore. So evil has to exist in order for our love to be free. So during this time, again, let us remember that there is a reason for everything. Ultimately, God is in control. My hope is that each one of us we're able to grow through this experience. We're able to support others. We're able to be there for our family and friends the way that we need to be. I would like to extend a immense thank you to all the priests, all the religious, everyone who works at the churches that have been making every effort to be able to reach us. I'd like to thank the Catholic young adult groups in the Catholic young adult world that have really stepped up in the world of technology, in the world of sharing faith and going virtual, really at the drop of a hat. It's been unbelievable. I'd like to thank the nurses, the military, and the government for really doing what they can to return us back to normality as quick as possible. I want to close out by inviting you over the next 2 weeks to join us, Jesus Across the Border, at a few different moments during the day. At 7 a.m., we will have adoration. It will be based out of St. Patrick's Church in Pelham, New Hampshire. We're going to live stream that. It'll start at 7 a.m. The rosary will be at 7:20 a.m. Father Vaughn will be giving readings and a homily at 8 a.m. and then benediction will be at 8:30. Later on during the day, we will be releasing a daily podcast, a short little talk from Father Dan, a very valued and beloved friend of Jesus Across the Border. It is called The Daily Cross. I really urge you to take an opportunity to listen to this. These daily nuggets of wisdom. He is a man that spoke truth to me. He's a man that truly loves Jesus and that I really believe can bring each one of us closer to our relationship with God. So that's posted on Facebook, also on YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you should be able to see that. And finally, each day at 3 p.m., I'm going to lead what is called the Divine Mercy, or Reflective Divine Mercy Chaplet. It's the Divine Mercy, but it's an opportunity to reflect as we pray during the Divine Mercy. And all of this is leading us to our next event, which is going to be April 17th, Friday, April 17th at 7 p.m. I invite you for a virtual night of adoration and praise and worship. Father Vaughn will make adoration available to us virtually, and Sammy Moore from Here on Earth Worship is going to lead us in a night of beautiful music, using her incredible gifts and talents to journey us through the Divine Mercy in song. So thank you very much. I hope you have a very safe few weeks. I know it's supposed to be challenging the next few weeks, but as we journey through this time of Lent and we journey to the cross, may we be there for each other. May we be there for Jesus, and may He be with us through this entire time. May God bless you and have a wonderful day.